I still remember the sound of the front door clicking shut behind me that night. I was supposed to be out of town, but the meeting ended early. I wanted to surprise Sarah. I thought she'd smile, throw her arms around me, and tell me she missed me. Instead, I froze in the hallway when I heard her voice. And another one I knew too well. Daniel. I crept closer, my heartbeat hammering in my ears. Sarah's laugh cut through the silence. He's so blind, Daniel. He thinks I love him. Daniel chuckled. He worships you, Sarah. That's why he's useful. My stomach turned. Sarah whispered, useful, yes, but pathetic. He works, I spend. That's how it should be. My hands trembled against the wall. My chest burned as if someone had lit a fire inside me. Daniel's voice dropped low. What about me? Do you love me? Her answer was sharp, cruel. Love doesn't pay bills, but you're fun, that's enough. Something inside me snapped. I couldn't stand in the shadows any longer. I pushed open the door. Enough. They both jolted. Sarah's eyes widened, but Daniel leaned back on the couch, smug, shirt half unbuttoned. Wow, he said. Look who came home early. Sarah stood quickly, smoothing her dress. I can explain. I laughed bitterly. Explain what? That my wife and my best friend decided I'm a joke. Daniel smirked. Don't act so shocked, man. You always knew you weren't enough for her. Shut up, I snapped, my voice shaking. You were my brother, Daniel. I trusted you with everything, he shrugged. Your mistake. Sarah crossed her arms. Don't blame him. I was the one who wanted more. You couldn't give it. You never could. My throat tightened. Sarah, I gave you everything I had. Everything, she scoffed. A small apartment, long hours, empty promises about a future. I wanted a life, not excuses. I stared at her, unable to breathe. I thought you loved me. Her eyes flickered with something regret, maybe, but it vanished. I loved what you could give me, but it was never enough. Daniel leaned forward, smiling like a wolf. Face it, man, you're weak. You work hard, but for what? To be stepped on. She deserves better. My fists clenched. Better. You think better is stealing from your friend, betraying the one person who trusted you. He shrugged again. It's survival. You wouldn't understand. I turned to Sarah, my voice breaking. Tell me this isn't real. Tell me you didn't mean it. She met my eyes, cold, empty. I meant every word. You were a step, Daniel, is the climb. The words cut deeper than any knife. My knees almost gave out, but I forced myself to stand tall. Daniel chuckled. Look at him. He still loves you, Sarah. Pathetic. Stop, I whispered. Just stop. Sarah tilted her head. Then leave. Sign the papers when they come. Make this easy for both of us. I laughed. A hollow sound. You're throwing me away like garbage. She didn't flinch. Yes. I turned to Daniel. You'll regret this. He grinned. Doubt it. I'm already winning. Something inside me broke completely. The man who walked into that room, the man who believed in love and friendship, he died right there. I stared at them one last time, memorizing the faces of the people who had destroyed me. I hope, I said quietly, that one day you feel what I feel right now. And when you do, remember this moment. Neither of them spoke. Their silence was louder than any scream. I walked out of the room, out of the house, and into the cold night. My chest was heavy, my eyes burning, but my tears refused to fall. The sky was black, the air sharp, and every step away from that house felt like falling deeper into darkness. That night wasn't just the end of my marriage, it was the end of who I was. The papers hit the table with a sharp smack. Sign them, Sarah said coldly. I stared at the divorce documents, my hands trembling. Half, you want half of everything. Her lips curved into a thin smile. It's the law. Don't act surprised. My voice cracked. After everything we shared, you'd strip me bare and still feel nothing. She leaned back in her chair. Feelings don't pay bills. You never understood that. I slammed my fist against the table. I worked day and night for us. No, she said flatly. You worked for yourself. For your pride, I wanted more. I swallowed hard. Daniel, was he your more? She didn't flinch. He gave me what you couldn't. The words stung like acid, but before I could answer, Daniel's voice echoed in my head. Rumors. He had already spread through the office. By the time I walked into work the next morning, whispers followed me. There he is, someone muttered. Cheated on, dumped, pathetic, another voice hissed. I clenched my jaw and marched into Mr. Collins' office. Sir, I need to talk to you. He avoided my eyes, shuffling papers. I've heard troubling things. I slammed the door shut. Rumors, lies. Daniel planted them. Mr. Collins finally looked at me, nervous. It's not just rumors. Clients are uncomfortable. The board doesn't want drama. So you're firing me? I asked. He sighed. It's best if you step down quietly, for the company's image. I laughed bitterly. Image. After years of loyalty, you throw me away because of gossip. He shifted in his chair. Sometimes, perception matters more than truth. My chest tightened. You're a coward, Collins. His silence confirmed it. I walked out, head low, colleagues avoiding my eyes like I was diseased. By the time I reached my apartment, my phone buzzed. Emily's voice came through, trembling. Brother, I heard. Is it true? I sank into the couch. What do you think? She hesitated. Please, fight back. Don't let them take everything. I tried. I muttered. No one listens. Not Collins, not the board, not even our family. Her voice cracked. Mum said you should let it go. Dad said it's shameful to make noise. I gritted my teeth. So they'd rather I disappear quietly. They're scared, Emily whispered. Scared of what people will say. I closed my eyes, my throat burning. And you, are you scared too? No, she said firmly. I'm angry, angry at her, angry at Daniel, angry that you won't fight harder. I rubbed my temples. What's left to fight for, Emily? She's already taken it all. Her silence was heavy. Then she whispered, she hasn't taken me. I'm still here. The lump in my throat nearly broke me. I don't deserve you. Don't say that, she snapped. You gave her your heart. She crushed it. That's on her, not you. I stared at the empty bottles on my counter. You don't get it. She told me I wasn't enough. And maybe she's right. No, Emily said sharply. She's wrong. You're broken, but not worthless. I wanted to believe her, but Sarah's voice echoed louder than hers. Love doesn't pay bills. The next day, Sarah called. Her tone was ice. Did you sign the papers? No, her sigh was sharp. Don't drag this out. You'll only embarrass yourself more. Why, Sarah? I asked, my voice raw. Why wasn't I enough? There was a pause. Then her words cut me open. Because I wanted money, not promises. Love doesn't buy houses. Love doesn't pay bills. You were never enough, and you never will be. My breath caught. You didn't marry me for love at all, did you? Her silence was answer enough. I whispered. You're colder than I ever imagined. She hung up, the line went dead, but her words lived on, stabbing deeper each time they replayed in my mind. That night, Emily came over. She looked at me, eyes wet with pity. Brother, you're fading. You can't let her destroy you. I shook my head. She already has. Emily grabbed my shoulders. Then rebuild. Don't let this be your end. Her voice was fierce, but I felt empty. I whispered the only truth I knew. She threw me away like trash, and the world seems happy to agree. Bottles rattled on my table like trophies of defeat. Emily's voice rang in my head from our last conversation. Rebuild. Don't let this be your end, but I drowned it with another drink. When the money ran out, the landlord banged on my door. You're late again, he barked. I just need time, I muttered. No time left. Get out. The door slammed, and just like that, my home was gone. Nights blurred into endless wandering. I walked the streets, shadows my only company. Sarah's laughter echoed in my skull. Daniel's smug grin haunted me. One night, I found myself on a bridge, wind whipping cold across my face. I stared at the water below. It'd be easier to just end it, I whispered. I climbed the railing, my hands shaking. Then a voice cut through the night. Pathetic way to die. I froze, turning toward the stranger leaning against the rail a few feet away. A man in his 50s, sharp suit, cigarette, glowing in the dark. His eyes pierced me. What did you say? I croaked. He exhaled smoke. I said, if you jump, you prove them right. That you're weak. Trash. My chest tightened. That's what I am. He shook his head. No, that's what they want you to believe. I clenched the rail. You don't know me. He stepped closer, voice low. I don't need to. I've seen your type, betrayed, broken, ready to quit. Anger sparked in me. You think it's that simple? My wife, my best friend, they destroyed me. I have nothing left. His lips curved in a smirk. Good. Nothing left means nothing to lose. That's when real power begins. I glared at him. Power. I can't even buy dinner. Money's not the starting point, he said calmly. Pain is, and you've got plenty of it. His words cut deeper than Sarah's insults. I whispered, what would you know about pain? He flicked ash into the wind. I built everything I have after my wife ran off with my business partner. Sound familiar? My breath caught. She did that to you too. He nodded once. I nearly pulled the trigger on myself, but I realized something. Pain is power, if you know how to use it. His words echoed inside me. I asked softly, and if I don't know how? He studied me, eyes sharp. Then, I'll teach you, but only if you stop being a coward tonight. I looked down at the river, then back at him. Why help me? He smirked. Because I see myself in you. And because men like us don't just survive, we come back sharper, stronger, hungrier. I dropped from the railing, legs trembling. Who are you? He extended his hand. Names, Victor. I hesitated, then shook it. His grip was firm, unshakable. Why should I trust you? I asked. Don't, he said bluntly. Trust yourself. I'll only show you where to start. I swallowed hard. And what do you want in return? Victor's smile was cold. Nothing, except to see you stop crawling and start standing. For the first time in weeks, I felt a flicker inside me, a fire I thought had died. I whispered, pain is power. Victor nodded. Say it louder. Believe it. Pain is power, I repeated, voice shaking. Again, pain is power. His eyes glinted. Good. Now let's see if you're ready to use it. The night wind still bit at my skin, but the darkness didn't feel as heavy anymore. For the first time since Sarah and Daniel betrayed me, I stepped away from the edge not just of the bridge, but of myself. Get up, Victor snapped, his voice cutting through my exhaustion. I rubbed my eyes. It's 3 a.m, and the markets don't sleep. Do you want revenge, or do you want rest? My chest tightened. Revenge. Then stop whining and read the damn numbers. He shoved a tablet into my hands. What do you see? Red losses. More proof I'm wasting my time. He smirked. Wrong. That's opportunity. When fools panic, predators eat. I clenched the device. No predator. I'm just a man who lost everything. Good. Pain makes killers. Now, study. I forced my eyes across the charts. So, when stocks drop, it's not always bad. Finally, he grows a brain, Victor muttered. Buy when blood runs in the streets. Sell when idiots celebrate. Remember that? I whispered it to myself like a prayer. Hours bled away. My head ached, but Victor's voice kept driving me. Discipline first. Money later, he said. Tell me, why did Sarah leave? My throat tightened. Because love doesn't pay bills. Exactly. She wanted a man who provides, not one who dreams. You gave her weakness. Never again. I'm trying, I murmured. Trying is failure's cousin. You will do. Repeat it. I will do louder. I will do. Good, now prove it. Put $10 on that trade. I frowned. 10? That's nothing. It's everything, he shot back. If you can't respect 10, you'll never respect 10,000. I clicked confirm with trembling fingers. Victor leaned back, satisfied. There, your rebirth starts with scraps. I exhaled, shakily. Feels small. Revenge starts small. Seeds before forests? Remember that. Silence stretched. I stared at the screen, heartbeat racing. You want Sarah back? Victor asked suddenly. No. Good. Because this isn't about her anymore. This is about you. About the man she won't even recognize when you pass her on the street. I swallowed hard. And Daniel? Victor's eyes sharpened. He'll regret the day he thought you were weak. Something flared inside me, anger, yes, but also hunger. I muttered, I won't stop until I bury them with my success. Victor grinned. Now you sound alive. The days blurred into brutal routines. He demanded push-ups before I touched a screen. A weak body kills a sharp mind, he said. He banned alcohol, locked my phone, forced me to track every cent. One night I collapsed onto the couch. I can't keep this up. You can. You will, Victor. I'm not you. No, you're not, he said coldly. You're softer, but I'll carve the softness out, or you'll die worthless. Your choice. The words stabbed deep. I clenched my fists. Carve it out then, he smirked. Finally, weeks later, when my first real trade doubled overnight, I shouted, Victor, look, he didn't even glance. Good. Do it again. That's it. No congratulations. Do you want a trophy, child? Results are their own reward. You want applause? Go back to your sister. Anger surged. Emily believes in me. She pities you, Victor snapped. Belief is cheap. Money is proof. I slammed the table. Damn it, I'll prove it then. I'll build so much, she'll never doubt me again. Victor smiled faintly. Now that's the voice of fire. Nights bled into dawns. I lived off caffeine and adrenaline, every win feeding a storm inside me. One evening, Victor poured 2 glasses of water. He raised his. To rebirth, I lifted mine. To revenge, he corrected me. To power. Revenge fades. Power doesn't. I thought of Sarah's cold eyes, Daniel's smug grin. Then I'll take both. Victor laughed. That's the spirit. Burn, but burn with purpose. As I drank, I whispered silently, I won't just rise. I'll return unrecognizable, stronger, colder, untouchable. My heartbeat echoed like a vow. Flight's landing in 10, Grace said, her voice clipped, efficient as always. I stared out the window. Feels strange, coming back after all these years. You're not coming back, she corrected. Ghosts don't return. They haunt, I smirked. Then, I'll haunt quietly. She tapped her tablet. Your assets are clean. No trace to your name. On paper, you're still dead. Good, I murmured. Dead men don't get betrayed twice. Grace glanced at me. Then why risk it? Why step foot here again? Because I need to see their faces, I whispered. I need to see what time has done to them. Her lips pressed thin, but she didn't argue. She never did. The car rolled through streets I once knew too well. Neon lights, polished buildings, but the same stench of greed. Grace broke the silence. Daniel's company's drowning in debt. His board hides it, but it's there. Sarah's spending hasn't slowed either. She looks rich, but she's bleeding. I chuckled bitterly. Lavish lies. Fitting. Do you want me to leak their numbers? Not yet. Let them rot first. Slow poison tastes better. Her eyes flickered. You've changed. I shook my head. No. I finally became who I was meant to be. That night, I sat in a private booth of an upscale club, the kind where silence costs extra. Grace stood at my shoulder, scanning every move. Mr. Reed slid into the seat opposite me, sharp suit, sharper grin. So, you're the phantom everyone whispers about. I kept my face in shadow. And you must be Reed the banker who sells favors disguised as loans. He laughed. Flattery from a ghost. I'm honored. I sipped my drink. I'm not here to flatter. I'm here to listen. To what? To the cracks, I said evenly. This city pretends stability, but I hear otherwise. Reed leaned forward. Rumor is, you've been funding half the deals in town. Quietly, ruthlessly. That true? I didn't answer. Silence was louder. He smirked. Thought so. Men like us, we don't need names. Just shadows. But shadows cast rivals. I leaned in. And you're warning me? I'm offering partnership, Reed said smoothly. Together, we crush Daniel's empire. I get the assets, you get the satisfaction. The name hit like ice. Daniel. Reed raised a brow. Ah, so the ghost already knows the corpse. Good. Saves me explaining. Grace's gaze cut to me, warning. I said softly, what makes you think I want him crushed? Reed chuckled darkly. Because predators don't circle sheep. They circle other wolves. And Daniel, he's bleeding. I can smell it. My hand tightened around the glass. Bleeding, you say? Soon to collapse, Reed said. And when he falls, scavengers like me will feast. Unless, of course, you want first bite. I leaned back, expression unreadable. Interesting offer. Reed stood, buttoning his jacket. Think about it. Ghosts can't own empires forever. Eventually, they step into the light or vanish for good. He left with a knowing grin. Grace exhaled sharply. He's dangerous. So am I muttered. Later, overlooking the city lights, Grace finally spoke. Why didn't you take his deal? Because I don't share prey, I said coldly. Her eyes softened for the first time. This isn't just business for you. No, I admitted. It's hunger. Years of silence, years of watching. And now, finally, cracks. Grace stepped closer. Then let me shield you. Let me keep you from slipping too deep. I almost laughed. Grace, I live in the deep. That's where ghosts belong. She didn't argue. She just stood guard, loyal as ever. I whispered to myself, Sarah, Daniel, the empire you built on lies is crumbling, and I'll be here to watch every stone fall. The city glowed beneath me, unaware its ghost had returned. Grace's voice was steady as she slid the folder across the desk. It's done. The acquisition papers are signed. You own the bank. I looked at the black ink of my signature. Strange. Years ago, they wouldn't even let me open an account without a guarantor. Now, I own the place. Power rewrites history, Grace replied. Or hides it, I murmured. She adjusted her glasses. Sarah applied for another extension this morning. She thinks the new management might be merciful. I almost smiled. Mercy, from me. 2 days later, I sat in the mirrored conference room, hidden behind the panel that separated the owner from petitioners. Sarah walked in, perfume filling the air like poison disguised as honey. Her voice trembled, though she tried to sound calm. I just need more time. Business has been unpredictable. But once my shipments stabilize, I can pay everything. The bank manager on my side of the glass asked flatly, why should we extend again? Sarah's hands clenched around her folder. Because I always pay back. I've built a reputation. You know my name means stability. I almost laughed. Stability. I remembered her standing in my old kitchen, saying, love doesn't pay bills. She leaned forward. Please, whoever the owner is, tell him, I'm loyal. I won't disappoint. The manager glanced at me through the tinted divider. My pen hovered. For 1 second, I saw her smile from years ago. The smile that once convinced me she loved me. My chest ached. Grace's whisper was sharp in my ear. Don't waver. Ink decides fate. My hand moved. I signed a denial. The manager cleared his throat. Extension denied. Sarah froze. Denied? Yes. Her voice cracked. You don't understand. I'll lose everything. Please, just another month. Tell the owner, I'll do anything. The word anything hung heavy. My heart twisted, but then I remembered Daniel's laughter, her cold words, their betrayal. My pen clicked shut, the manager ended the meeting. Sarah walked out, heels unsteady, mask breaking. Grace murmured, first crack. I said nothing. My throat burned. Later that night, Grace found me staring at the city skyline. You hesitated, she said. I'm not stone, I replied. She was my wife. She was your executioner, Grace snapped. Don't forget that. Her anger cut, but she was right. I know, I rubbed my temples. Seeing her desperate part of me wanted to reach out. Old habits die slow. Grace's voice softened. That's why I'm here. To remind you who you are now. The next day brought Daniel's turn. His investors gathered in a glass tower, waiting for his explanation. I sat at the far end of the table, hidden behind my alias. A silent partner with full control. Daniel strolled in, arrogant as ever. Gentlemen, relax. The money is safe, just tied up in projects that need a little more time. One investor snarled, time. You said returns in 6 months. It's been a year. Daniel spread his hands. Markets shift, but when the wave hits, profits will triple. I tapped my pen against the table, slowly, deliberately. Daniel's eyes flicked toward me. Something in his smile faltered. Who's this? He asked. The lead investor said, the new controlling partner. Without his funds, you'd already be bankrupt. Daniel's jaw tightened. Then, perhaps we should discuss terms privately. I leaned forward, voice low, but firm. No need. I already know your terms. Lies wrapped in charm. He bristled. Excuse me. You gamble with other people's money, I said. And when the gamble fails, you smile and promise a bigger miracle. His mask slipped for just a moment. Who the hell do you think you are? I smiled faintly. The one holding the strings. The room went silent. Daniel's face darkened, but he forced a laugh. Then I look forward to working closely with you. I didn't answer. I just let the silence choke him. After the meeting, Grace joined me in the elevator. He suspects something. Good, I said. Fear makes cracks spread faster. She studied me. But Sarashi shook you more than Daniel did. She still wears the face I once loved, I admitted. Daniel's just a snake, but her, she was my world. Watching her beg for mercy. Did you want to give it? My silence was answer enough. Grace touched my arm. Don't. The moment you forgive, you lose everything you built. She'll drag you back into ruin. I know, I whispered. That's why I didn't, but God, Grace. It hurt. That night, Sarah's desperate voice echoed in my mind. I'll do anything. I poured myself a drink, staring at the amber liquid. I remembered the night I found them, the way they laughed at me. My knuckles went white. No mercy, I muttered. Not this time. Grace appeared in the doorway. Planning your next move? I nodded slowly. Yes, Sarah thinks money will save her. Daniel thinks charm will protect him. They're both wrong. Her eyes gleamed. What will you do? I raised the glass, voice steady. Tighten the strings, pull until they choke. For the first time in years, I felt no hesitation. The cracks had begun. And I was the one holding the hammer. Grace entered my office, her expression calm, but her voice sharp. It's finished. The investors pulled out. Daniel's empire is dust. I leaned back in my chair. So the king finally lost his crown. He lost more than that, she said. He lost trust. No one wants to touch him now. I nodded slowly. Good, he always thrived on charm. Strip that away, and he's just another desperate man. Grace added, and Sarah. She was cornered last night at a gala. Creditors asked questions she couldn't answer. She walked out in tears. For a moment, silence stretched. I almost saw her face again, bright with the smile I once trusted. I shook it off. Let her drown. Lies don't float forever. 2 nights later, I stood in the shadows of Daniel's crumbling office. He sat at his desk, tie loosened, bottle half-empty rage in his eyes. He looked up and sneered. You, the silent partner. The man who cut the strings. I stepped forward, my voice steady. No, Daniel. Not silent. Not anymore. He blinked, then frowned. That voice. No, yes. I let the words sink in. It's me. His face drained of color. You're supposed to be gone. He laughed nervously. This is a trick. Does it look like a trick? I said coldly. Daniel's hand shook around the glass. It can't be you. You had nothing. You were finished. I leaned closer. You finished me once. I rebuilt, stronger, smarter, and now you sit in ruins. He slammed his fist on the desk. You don't know what it's been like. I cut him off. Don't you dare play victim. You laughed while I bled. You mocked me in my own house. His voice cracked. I was stupid, greedy. But it wasn't personal, it was survival. Survival. My laugh was sharp. Sleeping with my wife. Destroying my name. That was survival. He looked away, ashamed. Sarah pushed me. She don't blame her. I snapped. You chose betrayal. You chose greed. Daniel's eyes glistened. Fine, I did. But look at you now. You've won. Isn't that enough? I stared at him, silent for a long moment. No. His jaw tightened. Then what do you want? Money, control. My name, take it all. I leaned down, my face inches from his. What I want is for you to live, knowing you lost everything. To the man you buried, he shivered. You're cruel, I straightened. No, I'm justice. He collapsed back into his chair, voice trembling. So that's it. You'll leave me to rot. Yes, please, he whispered. Don't. Give me a chance. One chance to rebuild. I'll prove. I shook my head. You proved everything already. You proved what kind of man you are. Tears threatened in his eyes, but I felt nothing. He whispered, almost to himself, I never thought you'd rise. Never thought you had it in you. I turned toward the door. You should have. Outside, Grace waited. Her gaze searched mine. It's done, he begged, I said quietly. And I left him with nothing. She studied me. How do you feel? I paused. The answer surprised me. Lighter, but not whole, because Sarah remains, she said. Yes. I clenched my fists. Daniel's fall was satisfying. But Sarah? She cut deeper than him. She made me believe, then she destroyed me. Grace's voice lowered. And when you face her? I stared at the night sky. Then the real revenge begins. 2 days later. Whispers spread everywhere. Daniel bankrupt. Sarah humiliated. At a cafe. I overheard 2 women gossiping. She begged the creditors. Can you believe it? One said, she always acted like royalty. Now she can't even pay her staff, the other replied. I stirred my coffee, silent, a smile tugging at my lips. Grace leaned in. Satisfied. Almost. She frowned. Be careful. Satisfaction can turn into obsession. I met her eyes. This isn't obsession. This is balance. What they took from me, I'm taking back. That evening, my phone buzzed. An unknown number. I answered, a familiar voice, strained and desperate. It's Sarah. My pulse spiked. I said nothing. She spoke again, breaking. I know you're the one behind this. I don't know how, but I know. Please. Stop. The silence stretched. She whispered, whoever you are now, please. I'm begging. I closed my eyes. For a heartbeat, I almost pitied her. Almost. Then, I said, voice cold. Beggars don't bargain with ghosts. Her sharp inhale echoed before the line went dead. Grace asked later, what did she say? She begged, and you. I reminded her what I am. Grace nodded once. Then the cracks are spreading fast. I raised my glass, watching the city lights flicker. Daniel's empire is ashes. Sarah's mask is slipping. And me. I finally tasted revenge. Grace's voice softened. Was it sweet? I smirked. Bitter and sweet. Like medicine. But I'm not cured yet. I didn't plan the meeting. It happened because the web tightened and she had no way out. Sarah walked into my office with shaky steps, clutching a worn leather bag. Her eyes darted around the polished wood, the tall windows, the silence that swallowed her. She didn't recognize me at first. Double quotes, Mr. Blackwell, she asked, her voice thin. I leaned back in the chair, letting the title settle between us. That's what they call me. She blinked, confused, then froze. Her lips parted. No? No, it can't be. It can, I said coldly. And it is. Her face drained of color. You're alive? Alive enough to own the bank you're begging from? I gestured to the folder in her hand. Sit. She lowered herself into the chair like it burned her. For a long moment, she stared at me, breathing unevenly. I thought you thought Daniel, and you buried me. Didn't you? My voice was steady, sharper than I felt. Her throat bobbed. It wasn't like that, wasn't it? You chose him. You chose the knife over the hand that held you. Tears welled in her eyes. I was scared. I made mistakes. Mistakes that cost me everything, I snapped. Then I calmed, folding my hands. You didn't come here to confess. You came for money. So ask. She flinched but straightened. I need an extension. Just a few months. The creditors are breathing down my neck, and Daniel is finished. I cut her off. You know it. I know it. The whole city knows it. So why are you still clinging to him? She hesitated, then leaned forward, her eyes glistening. Because I had no choice, but now I do. I studied her. What are you saying? Her hand brushed mine on the desk, soft, calculated. We could fix this together. Forget Daniel. Forget the past. You and me. We could have everything. I pulled my hand away. Everything. Her lips curved into the same smile that once melted me. You were always the strong one. The smart one. I was blind. I see it now. I see you. I almost laughed. Almost, do you? Yes, she whispered, her fingers trembling. I love you. I never stopped. I leaned closer, my voice low. Love, or money? Her eyes flickered just for a second, but it was enough. I caught it. The hunger, the desperation, not love. Never love. You hesitated. I said, no, you did. I stood, towering over her. When I was nothing, when I bled for scraps, where was this love? Buried under your diamonds? Drowned in champagne? She shook her head wildly. No, I didn't know. You knew, I hissed. And you chose Daniel. Her tears spilled now, running down her cheeks. She rose, reaching for me. I can choose you now. Please, just give me one more chance. For a moment, my chest tightened. Memories clawed at her laughter, her touch, the way her hand fit perfectly into mine. For a heartbeat, I wanted to believe. But then, I remembered the betrayal. The coldness in her eyes when she turned away years ago. The taste of ash in my mouth when everything burned. You want another chance? I said, fine. But not with me. With reality. She froze. What? I opened the folder on my desk and pushed it toward her. Here's your reality. Your debt is due. Your collateral is gone. You and Daniel are finished. She stared at the papers, her face crumpling. You'd do this to me? After everything we had? I tilted my head. After everything you destroyed? Yes. She sank back into the chair, sobbing. I loved you. You loved what I gave you. Security, status, comfort. I stepped toward the window, watching the city lights glow beneath us. But when those faded, so did you. Behind me, her voice broke. Then why keep me alive now? Why not ruin me completely? I turned slowly, meeting her swollen eyes. Because watching you crawl is better than burying you. And I'm not done watching yet. She rose again, trembling, fury replacing her tears. You think you've won? You think this makes you strong? I don't think, I said quietly. I know. She pointed a shaking finger at me. One day, you'll regret this. You'll wake up and realize you destroyed the only woman who ever loved you. I gave her a thin smile. If that's true, then love was cheaper than I thought. Her shoulders sagged. She gathered her bag, clutching it like a lifeline. At the door, she looked back one last time, her face twisted with bitterness. You'll always want me. Even when you hate me, you'll want me. Maybe, I said, but wanting and trusting aren't the same. She left, the sound of her heels fading into silence. Grace entered a moment later, her eyes scanning me. Do you want me to follow her? I shook my head. No, let her run. The cage will close soon enough. Grace tilted her head. You almost let her get to you, didn't you? I exhaled slowly. Almost good thing, almost doesn't count, she muttered, placing a new file on my desk. I looked down at it. Daniel's name in bold letters. Almost doesn't count, I repeated. My voice steady now. The taste of revenge lingered on my tongue. Bitter, sweet, dangerous, and I wanted more. The news broke before dawn. Grace slid the morning paper across my desk, her eyes sharp. Daniel Reed arrested for fraud. It's all over the headlines, she said. I skimmed the bold letters, a slow smile curling. So the king finally falls. Grace crossed her arms. And the queen. I looked up. Sarah, she's already circling the drain. Creditors are stripping her bare. Friends vanished overnight. No one wants her name attached to theirs. I leaned back. Good. Let them taste the silence I once lived in. The office door opened, and Victor stepped in, hands clasped behind his back. His gaze lingered on the paper. I warned you, revenge is a dangerous fire. Are you satisfied now? I studied him. Satisfied? I'm not sure, but I am finished. Victor arched a brow. Are you? Before I could answer, Emily entered, her smile soft, steady. I saw the news. You did it. I shook my head. No, Emily, they did it. I just lit the match. She approached, resting a hand on my shoulder. Still, you've turned pain into power. That's worth something, Victor's voice cut in. Or it's worth nothing if it leaves him empty. Emily frowned. He's not empty. He's free. Victor held my eyes. Free men don't stand over graves, smiling. I broke the stare, exhaling. Maybe I'm both. Grace cleared her throat. Sarah's downstairs. I stiffened. Here she demanded to see you. Says it's urgent. Emily's grip tightened on my shoulder. You don't owe her anything, Victor muttered, but you'll see her anyway. He was right. Send her in. Moments later, Sarah entered, her elegance stripped away. No jewels, no designer clothes. Just desperation, her voice cracked. Please, you have to help me. I remained seated. Do I? She stepped closer, trembling. I have nothing. They've taken it all. Daniel, he's in prison. I can't survive like this. I tilted my head. You survived when I had nothing. Why not now? Tears streamed down her cheeks. I was wrong. I see it now. You were the one who cared. The one who loved me. Emily moved between us. Loved you. He bled for you, and you sold him for comfort. Don't rewrite the story now. Sarah's eyes darted to her. Who are you to speak for him? Emily's voice was steady. I'm the one standing here when you're crawling. That should tell you everything. Sarah turned back to me, desperation raw. I'll do anything. Just give me something. Money, shelter please. I studied her memories, stabbing. Her laughter, her betrayal. My nights in ruin. Anything. I asked quietly. Yes, she whispered. Then start with the truth, I said. When you left me for Daniel, was there ever love? Or was it always greed? She froze. I loved you. Her hesitation betrayed her. I saw it. The hunger in her eyes was still the same. I stood, towering over her. You loved the life I gave you. Not me. And when that life burned, you chose Daniel's flame. Now you're both ash. She fell to her knees, sobbing. Please. Don't let me die like this. I looked down, my voice like steel. I won't kill you, Sarah, but I won't save you either. That mercy belongs to someone else, not me. Her sobs echoed as Grace escorted her out. Emily whispered, You did the right thing. Did I? My throat tightened. Victor's voice carried a strange weight. Yes, because you let her destroy herself. That's justice, not revenge. I turned to him. And Daniel? Victor shrugged. Bars will finish what betrayal began. Emily squeezed my hand. Then, it's over. I studied her face, bright, proud, untouched by greed. She had stood beside me without asking for anything. It's over, I repeated softly. Victor stepped toward the door. Good. Now start living. Don't let ghosts write the rest of your story. Grace returned, placing another file on my desk. The empire you built, it's stable, stronger than theirs ever was. The city looks to you now. I nodded slowly. Strange, isn't it? I vanished, and still I became everything they wanted to be. Emily leaned in, whispering, because you were never like them. Her words wrapped around me, warm where Sarah's had been cold. For the first time in years, I felt the chains loosen. Daniel behind bars, Sarah stripped bare, their laughter silenced by their own greed. I hadn't lifted a finger to end them. Fate had only needed my push, and now, finally, I could breathe. The lobby was silent, empty, but for her. Sarah knelt on the marble floor, mascara streaked across her cheeks. Her voice cracked. I made a mistake, please. Give me another chance. Her words sliced through me. For a heartbeat, I saw the woman I once loved, the one whose smile used to light my nights. I swallowed hard. Another chance. After everything. She lifted her head, eyes wide, wet with desperation. Yes, I was blind. I thought money, status, security's what mattered, but none of it means anything without you. A bitter laugh escaped me. Without me? You had me, Sarah, you had everything. And you traded it for Daniel? Her hands shook as she reached out. He's gone. He used me. You were the one who truly cared. Can't we go back? My chest tightened, memories clawing at me, the warmth of her voice once, the promises we whispered in the dark. For a fleeting second, the boy I had been wanted to say yes, but I was no longer that boy. I stepped back. We can't go back. You burned it all the night you laughed at me with him. Her lips trembled. I was scared. I thought you'd never give me the life I wanted. I clenched my fists. And did he give it to you? Did Daniel give you happiness, Sarah? Or just a gilded cage that turned to rust? She sobbed, shaking her head. I don't want cages anymore. I just want you. I turned, staring at the tall glass doors that led outside. You don't want me. You want rescue. You want the empire I built, the safety of my shadow. But me? No. That died years ago. Her voice broke into a whisper. I love you. The lie lingered in the air. I could hear the hollowness in it, the desperation. I exhaled slowly. You love survival. And right now, I'm survival. She crawled closer, clutching at the hem of my coat. Don't leave me like this, please. I'll change. I'll prove it. I looked down at her, tears dripping onto the marble, her once flawless beauty broken. Do you remember, I asked, my voice low, the night I begged you to tell me why? When you told me, love doesn't pay bills. Her face crumpled. I was cruel. I didn't mean it. Yes, you did. My tone was steady, final. And you were right. Love doesn't pay bills. But betrayal. It collects interest. She clutched tighter. Don't punish me anymore. Haven't I suffered enough? I leaned down just enough for her to see the resolve in my eyes. This isn't punishment, Sarah. It's consequence. You threw me away for money, and now, even money can't save you. I pulled my coat free from her grasp. She screamed, her voice echoing against the walls. You'll regret this. You still love me. I know it. My footsteps were steady, each one a nail sealing the coffin of my past. No, Sarah, I don't love you. I love myself enough now to walk away. The lobby doors swung open as I pushed them, the night air rushing in. For the first time in years, I felt light. Emily was waiting outside, arms crossed, eyes searching mine. It's done, I nodded. It's done. She studied my face. Do you feel free? I thought for a moment. Inside, Sarah's sobs still echoed, but they no longer weighed on me. Yes, I said softly. Free. Emily's hand brushed mine. Good, you deserve that. Victor appeared from the shadows, his tone sharp as ever. So, the ghost finally lays his chains down. Tell me, was it justice? Or closure? I met his eyes. Both. Justice for the boy she betrayed. Closure for the man I became. He smirked faintly. Then maybe now, you can finally start living instead of avenging. I let the night air fill my lungs. That's the plan. Emily smiled, warm and real. No more looking back. No more, I said. The past buried itself tonight. We walked together, leaving the bank's cold glow behind us. For years, I had believed revenge would heal me, but standing there, with Sarah's cries fading into nothing, I realized healing hadn't come from her downfall. It came from my refusal to carry her betrayal any longer. I didn't need Sarah's love. I didn't need Daniel's friendship. I didn't even need the empire I'd built. I only needed the strength to stand on my own. And finally, I had it.